Open Window Certificate graduation. We're so excited and thrilled to have all of you here. You know why you're here, right? It's because of your hard work, dedication, and tenacity. Thank you for the academics for joining us on stage. Something that I just want to get out of the way before we start is this event is live streamed. So we have some cameras set up in the back, and we have a few photographers taking imagery. So parents, you're more than welcome to snap a pic, but please don't stand up when doing so you know the cameras aren't blocked or anything. When you think back on the year, I hope that the memories that come up aren't ones of blood, sweat, and too many tears, but rather of education and creation and inspiration. And that's why we have this celebration. I know some of you have some fears about the future. For example, if I get up here in 30 minutes, am I going to face plant in front of everyone? I assure you, if that happens, I will break into a sing and dance number to Taylor Swift's Karma, and that'll divert the attention. Let's start by kicking off the ceremony. And to do this, I'd like to invite the Open Windows academic head, Dr. Jane Crawshay Hall Robertson, to give you the opening address. Doctor?
Weird. Yeah. On behalf of the Open Window, I'm actually going to stand here because this podium is actually quite massive. So on behalf of the Open Window, I'd like to welcome everyone to the certificate graduation for the class of 2022. Firstly, I'd like to extend a particularly warm welcome to our graduates who have worked incredibly hard and made many sacrifices to be here today. Today we celebrate you, the graduates, and we know and trust that you'll be starting your careers or continuing your studies with understanding, inspiration, and creative capacity that you have developed throughout your academic journey so far. Secondly, I would like to welcome the parents and guardians, partners, sponsors, peers, family, and friends to this graduation ceremony. Our graduates do not study in isolation, but they are supported in their academic journey by those that form part of their support structures. Those that support their loved ones in academic development and growth are aware of their responsibility in guiding and bolstering the student throughout the journey. When there are great achievements and acknowledgement of the hard work, we celebrate, but most importantly, when it gets tough and the deadlines are looming, you were there. Parents and guardians, partners and sponsors, you have given our graduates a wonderful start to what I'm sure will be an adventurous and inspiring career and future. Finally, I'd like to welcome both our academic and non-academic staff members from the Open Window. We are privileged to have careers wherein every year we get to celebrate the achievements of our graduates for whom we have played an important part in their success. We will be watching you cross the stage with immense pride, as always, in our graduates, in our work, and in our institution. Graduations are special occasions that mark the celebration of the successful completion of the embarked academic program. I'm quite sure that each and every graduate has a story of overcoming over the past year, which they embraced in order to achieve all the goals that they set out. To embark on academic study, no matter the program, is taxing. It is challenging and it requires being able to navigate setbacks and find creative solutions. However, more than celebrating the end of the study program, the graduation the graduation ceremony represents the start of a very exciting future. At Open Window, we value, above all, the development of the skill to take provocative thoughts, ideas, and critical concepts, to further evolve these, and finally, to express them through means of creative expression in a way that makes them accessible to all, while still provoking response. At the Open Window, we believe that each and every graduate has the power, through their work, to inspire meaningful conversations, to make an impact, and to contribute to our community and society in one way or another. To embark on a creative career is to embrace lifelong learning about concepts, about strategies and ideas, in addition to the skills that are required in expressing these. To have the ability to present great concepts or ideas takes immense effort, as I'm sure you all know, and can ultimately bring to bear great impact on our communities and general surroundings. Graduates, I would like to remind you that today is the first day of the rest of your creative career. Take the energy with which you celebrate today and let that guide your approach during your career. Celebrate the big achievements, but most importantly, celebrate the small victories. Celebrate the times where you just scraped by and made a deadline. Celebrate the moment that you turned a bad client situation into a good one, and there will be those times. Celebrate making the mistakes and then figuring out the creative solutions to solve them. Celebrate the times where you didn't give up, even when you wanted to, or the times when you delivered, even though you were depleted. Take stock of the moments where you feel overwhelmed. Make sure to then go out and laugh with friends and family. Make time to be inspired and schedule moments to let your ideas stew. Don't work by constantly chasing uninspired deadlines, but also don't overpromise and underdeliver. Be proud of your work and know your worth. Most importantly, don't ever stop aspiring to be better. Take on the challenge and say yes, but when it is a crutch and not a challenge, say no. Feed your creativity and feed your energy levels, and in turn, they will deliver for you. Shape the type of future you want and use it to have a positive impact on your community at large. So without further hesitation, I would like to officially open this graduation ceremony. As we announce each graduate by name, we will also announce those graduates who completed their studies cum laude. To qualify cum laude, the candidate must have completed a minimum of 120 credits in a single year. A minimum average mark of 75% is required to graduate cum laude, and this is calculated without rounding up. We will also be announcing top student awards for each certificate during the awarding ceremony. To achieve the top student award in the certificate, the candidate must have completed the certificate within 1 year. The top certificate student will receive a 50,000 Rand bursary towards further degree studies at the Open Window. And so, by the authority vested in me by the Open Window, I declare all those who are acknowledged by name during this ceremony to have their qualifications awarded. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jane. Now that the ceremony is officially open, I'd like to introduce you to our esteemed speaker who's going to deliver some words of wisdom to you. You might already know her as the dynamic, fun, and empathic creative and academic, Yelani Botha. Yelani?
Dear certificate graduates, congratulations. You've officially completed the first chapter in your journey to becoming a creative giant. Today is not only an opportunity to celebrate your achievements, but also a time to reflect on what you've learned so that you can carry this wisdom with you on your next creative expedition. A little over a year ago, all of you either logged onto Canvas or arrived on campus to attend your first classes at the Open Window. For the first couple of weeks, you might have struggled to share your screen, memorize your student number, or find your classes on campus. You might have wondered why your lecturer wasn't replying to your emails, only to notice days later that you wrote the entire email message in the subject line instead. As the days and weeks went by, you received your first assignments. The thought of drawing an ice cream truck or designing a hero header banner seemed manageable and even exciting until you realized you spent countless hours of figuring out Adobe Illustrator. You might have wondered if your lecturer would ever accept your work without asking you to reshoot, or if you would be able to make an accurate 3D model of the concepts that you had in your mind's eye. Maybe you experienced other obstacles during the course of your studies, and these might now seem like a memory in the distant past. But what matters is that you've proven to yourself that these struggles can be overcome when you apply the correct mindset. Today is a great opportunity to share some of the insights that I've gained on my own journey. This might help you to navigate through your own creative voyage and any bumps you might experience along the way. Over the past couple of years, as a creative, I've noticed 5 characteristics that some of my fellow creatives exhibit that help to build a healthy mindset for creativity to soar. These are diligence, play, curiosity, courage, and kindness. Many years ago, I also enrolled as a student at the Open Window. During my first year of study, I was only focused on ticking off the list of tasks that I had to complete and hoping that I would pass. I wasn't really paying much attention to my own personal growth or doing introspection on how I could do better. By the time I got to second year, I noticed that a lot of my classmates were excelling in their design abilities. I nearly failed the first term and sought out a classmate that was doing really well. I asked if we could be study buddies. His name is Gustav Steenkamp. He is majorly talented, and luckily he agreed to my request. For the next 2 years, we worked together in my flat on every practical assignment we had to submit. Gustav was extremely dedicated. He often stayed over at my house to complete his work. If I went to bed at 10 p.m., he continued working until 2 a.m. He made sure that everything he did was to the best of his ability. If he didn't know how to execute something, he would watch countless tutorials to figure it out. Gustav was diligent. He was persistent in his efforts to find solutions to design problems. Giving up was not an option. Before I knew Gustav well, he made design look easy and effortless. But as I got to know him, I realized that the concepts that he presented in class only reflected a part of the actual effort he put in. The more time I spent with Gustav, the more his work ethic rubbed off on me. I started staying up late with him. I discovered new ways of working and became a better designer. I told him once, "Gustav, you are so talented." And he replied, "Everyone can be talented if they are willing to do the work." It reminded me of a book that I read by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. In this book, he references the 10,000-hour rule. As Gladwell tells it, the rule goes like this. It takes 10,000 hours of intensive practice to achieve mastery of complex skills and materials, like playing the violin or getting as good as Bill Gates at programming. A key takeaway for me has always been that diligence and practice matters. Let's talk about play. As a student, I was focused on reaching the finishing line that I did not always leave enough room for experimentation or discovery. I missed out on enjoying and exploring the scenery along the way. Creativity researchers at Stanford University found that children who complete sketching exercises are often less fearful to present their ideas if compared to adults who complete the same tasks. Children often display a sense of accomplishment when they show their ideas, whether these are good or bad. But children also create rules when they play, and these rules create parameters for creativity to flourish. A game of hide and seek restricts the time allowed to find a hiding spot. A coloring exercise has guides to help children color between the lines. These restrictions are useful for productive play. Plan for play by setting up a project calendar and actively plot out some time for experimentation during the ideation phase. Take planned time to read a book, watch a tutorial to master a new skill, or experiment with a new medium. Make time to collaborate with fellow creatives or learn about their creative processes before you start a project. Don't be too precious about the ideation phase and learn to laugh about your mistakes. When I learned how to be more diligent, I became more disciplined and learned how to manage my time better. This allowed me to budget for play. It's part of my creative process. I need to prioritize it and plan for play to happen. I hope you will do the same. Be curious in your play. My second-year communication design lecturer, Richard Mayberg, would sometimes show us art films during class, recommend movies we had to watch, or often shared information about exhibitions we could attend. He tried to expose us to a variety of different things that would help us formulate a creative vocabulary. He encouraged us to be curious about the creative industry and formulate opinions about what we were exposed to. When I started working at my first design agency, my line manager, Rikus Delport, who was previously the editor-in-chief of Fin24, brought a newspaper to work every day. He would leave it on my desk when he was done reading it. One day, I mustered up the courage to ask Rikus why he continuously handed me the newspaper, and he replied, "So you can be a better designer." Rikus and I had some great conversations over the years that we worked together. He taught me about economics, politics, and journalism. He believed that you can only be a good writer, designer, or artist if you fully understood the world and the audience you are designing for. He also believed that you could only formulate an opinion about something if you understood the topic and investigate both sides of the coin. He encouraged me to be curious about our clients and their customers so that I would be better able to meet their design needs. Richard and Rikus taught me the value of being curious about things and how it could lead to important insights when you need to complete creative projects. As with play, setting boundaries for curiosity is also helpful. There's a renowned saying in dieting culture that says, "You are what you eat." This holds true when it comes to the type of media that we consume online. According to a recent study by GWI, young adults aged 16 to 34 spend an average of 40% of their online time scrolling through social media feeds and are exposed to 6,000 and 10,000 images per day. If we endlessly consume content without boundaries, we risk exposing ourselves to bad design and ideas. In recent years, I've been a bit more proactive in terms of how I curate my social feeds. I've turned my Instagram account into a visual exploration space where I follow design accounts and creatives. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through images of cappuccinos and what the Kardashians wore last week, I've turned my feed into a space where I can learn about the design industry and the current trends. Being inquisitive about other mediums helps us to build a better creative vocabulary and helps us to distinguish between good and bad ideas. If you want your work to be interesting, you need to be interested. Characteristic number 4, courage. In one of the studios where I attended class on campus, I often stared at a large bold quote by Henry Matisse that read, "Creativity takes courage." Throughout the years, I've noticed that diligence helps you to be better at time management, which allows you to plan for play, which leads you to being more curious about the world around you. And if you are curious, you tend to be more open to new techniques and methods and often have more courage to put your ideas into the world. The author of Show Your Work, Austin Kleon, writes, "The trouble with imaginative people is that we're good at picturing the worst thing that could happen to us. Fear is often just the imagination taking the wrong turn." As a student, I often grappled with the fear of not being good enough. This fear was often crippling and prevented me from having the courage to take creative risks. As Nelson Mandela once put it, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It's the ability to drown out the trolls that live in our head, to take the feedback on the chin and try again, to get up when you have fallen, and to claim your own creative space. I would like to end with kindness. Kindness won't necessarily make you a better designer, photographer, animator, or filmmaker, but it will help you to build empathy with your clients and fellow creatives. If we are all kind, we are more open to sharing what we've learned with others, which helps to build up our creative community. And if we are all kind towards others, we are reminded to be kind to ourselves. And if we are kind to ourselves, we create space for a creative mindset. Today marks a new chapter in your creative journey. Be proud of what you've accomplished this year. When new challenges arise, remind yourself that you were courageous in your creative endeavors at the open window. Be fearless as you take your next steps as a creative giant in the making. I congratulate you all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Alani. Truly inspirational words, probably going to stick with us for a very long time. It's officially time to start conferring the qualifications. So, with no further ado, let's head on to the first school, which is the School of Animation Arts, for the certificate in 3D animation and VFX. Let's look at some of the stunning work produced by these students. Well done, everyone. Now let's honor the students who are in absentia. I'd like to ask all the students from the School of Animation Arts to please line up in front. Okay, it's time to present the certificate in 3D animation and VFX. First, we have Damon Wills. Kagiso Ranake. Keegan Labiskachny. Leslie Heidenrich. Marnus Deisel. Sabuha Koke Nkosi. Teboho Mutseneng. Zander Besaidenhout. Next, I'd like Tinus Botma to please hand over the next award. We will now be announcing the top student award for the certificate in 3D animation and VFX. This award goes to Zander Besaidenhout with an average of 66.04%. Congratulations. And that's it for the School of Animation Arts. Now we're going to move over to the School of Creative Technologies for the certificate in Design Techniques with a specialization in user interface design. let's look at the student work. Excellent work, everyone. Now let's honor the students in absentia. Students to please line up in front. Just a reminder to please pose for your picture when you receive your certificate and not just run off. Excellent. It's now time to give the certificates to the School of Creative Technologies, Certificate in Design Techniques with a specialization in user interface design. Brantley Thomas. Gerardus Vermaak. Koketso Mokreditwa. Leroy Madela. Kologano Undebele. Letabo Mfalele, cum laude. Lie Matubela, cum laude. Sihle Ngwenya. Tamron Stain. Teven Mariti, cum laude. Chekehelo Tulu. Vanessa Makatu. Udayan Parumal. Congratulations, everyone. I'd like to invite Ilani Bueta to present the next award. It's time for the top student for creative technologies. The top student is Letabo Mfalele. Congratulations. Letabo averaged 78.63%. A final round of applause for the creative technology students. Congrats. The next school is the School of Film Arts. For the certificate in film and TV production, let's look at the student work.
Where the heck is my pole? What?
Excellent work, everyone. Now let's honor the students in absentia. I'd like to ask the film art students to please line up in front. It's time to hand over the certificates for the School of Film Arts Certificate in Film and TV Production. Benjamin De Silva. Faith Chetty. Gideon Wilson. Hendrik Woodendal. Hugo Schonborn. Joshua Hadley. Ketepile Mwalosi. Kirsten Buerta. Lesejo Kobe. Luiso Lenswe. Lydia Stander. Matthew Evans. That's Banjo. Neo Banjo. Sibisusu Malasa. Savannah Ritchie. Riley Barfoot. Quentin Mabwila. Peter Prinsloo. Takatsu Twari. Nyakalu Alfred Malloy. Congratulations, everyone. I'd like to ask Anzel Larkin to please present the next award. The next award is for the top student in the School of Film Arts Certificate in Film and TV Production. And the top student is Lydia Stander. With an average of 73.93%. Congrats. A big round of applause. And that wraps up the certificates for the School of Film Arts. Next, we move to the School of Visual Communication Design, starting with the Further Education and Training Certificate in Photography. Let's look at their work. Excellent work, everyone. Now let's honor the students in absentia across the School of Visual Communication Design. I'd like to ask all the students who did further education and training certificate in photography to please line up in the front so we can award your certificates. Andre Neil Berger. Chad Gous. Cindy Smith, cum laude. Martinus Becker. Paula Ann Smith. Rahul Ramnut. And Sean Taylor. Congratulations, everyone. Next, I'd like to invite Yurina Bueta up to the stage to hand over the Top Student Award. The Top Student Award, going to Further Education and Training Certificate in Photography, is awarded to Cindy Smith. Cindy has an average of 78.03%. Congratulations. Congrats, everyone. That's it for the first School of Visual Communication Design certificate, but there's another one. The next one is the Certificate in Design Techniques with a specialization in communication design. Let's look at the student work. We've already looked at the student work. I see the student. Just remember, excellent. Time to hand over the certificates for Certificate in Design Techniques with a specialization in communication design. Aiden Henning. Cara Ruiz. Georgina Tui. Helene van der Poel. Kagiso Ramotibe. Katlejo Kanyane. Nolo. Nolo Ramokgopa. Luca Kapper, cum laude. Musa Mukwane. Patrick Machatse. Shonisani Netsitsenze. Tizania Deviprasad. Cum laude. Cholofelo Kipile. Vincent Alsam, cum laude. And Zane Gray, cum laude. Congratulations, everyone. The top student for the certificate is unfortunately not present today, but she is Simone Talyard, and her average was 81.33%. And that concludes all the certificate handovers for tonight. Big round of applause. Now I'd like everyone to please stand up and remain standing, yes. Stand up and remain standing for the national anthem. You may be seated. Thank you. To close off the afternoon, I'd like to invite back up to the pavilion Dr. Jane.
So in officially closing the ceremony, I would like to once again congratulate our graduates. We are so proud of you. Let today be the first day in an inspiring creative future which we look forward to witnessing. As part of the formal proceedings, I officially declare this ceremony closed. Thank you.
Thank you all for your presence here. It was truly a magical time we spent together, and it's time to go out into the world and make some magic, right? We're going to exit the arena now, and I'd like it to happen in the following way. Everyone is going to stand, and our academic staff is going to leave first. Then the parents will leave, and the students will, while the graduates will remain to take pictures afterwards. So please be seated for the academic staff to exit. Stand.